Hello, everyone. In today's session, we will be discussing about airports, marketing positioning strategies, and how different airports in the world are being, utilized or leveraged based on whether it is a hub airport, regional airport, whether it is a small airport. So, in detail today, we will be understanding the differences and also special focus on the hub and spoke system for the hub airports. Please allow me to share the screen. All right. So we have different types of airports in terms of market positioning. That is the primary hub, secondary hub, regional airport, city airport, charter airports, and all cargo airports. So primary hub airports are the main airports, which serves as the main link for connecting various major airlines so that they can further bifurcate and distribute themselves into smaller connecting airlines, which then further leads on to the secondary destination. So primary hub plays a very important role in showcasing the strength of the airline in terms of how well its airport is connected, and thereby serves as a self positioning market strategy for most of the airlines. So every airline has a primary hub. Mostly the most highly connected airports of the world, which has a huge air traffic footfalls, is called as a primary hub, and mostly the headquarters of a particular airline and the popular city in terms of airline connectivities. Secondary hubs are the which are something which is found in the tier 2 cities of the country or tier 2 cities of the state, and they have comparatively less traffic footfall. And similarly, regional airports only cater to those airline carriers which are taking care of only certain geographical areas, such as a certain region. It does not operate throughout the country, or maybe does not have that much of connectivity options to other places. Then, of course, we have city airports, which are restricted to only certain cities. And then the charter airports are exclusive airports, which takes care of the VIP movements, usually, which is only demarcated only for special flight operations. And of course, the all cargo airports are only handling the cargo operations. As discussed, we will focus on the hub and spoke system today. The words hub and spoke create a pretty vivid image of how the system works. If we have to compare it with an example, it would be the hub and spoke of a bicycle, right? So if you could imagine how this airline hub and spoke system works, you can always compare it to the hub and spoke of a bicycle. A hub is the central airport that flights are routed through, and spokes are the routes that planes take out of this particular central hub airport. Most major airlines have multiple hubs. So it is not necessary that one particular airline will have only a single hub. It may have the main hub, but it also would have multiple hubs based on the demand of the air traffic. These hubs claim to have more flights for passengers if the demand is more from a certain origin destination to the final destination. So most of these airports these days claim as its marketing positioning strategy that they are serving multiple hubs based on the demand ratio for passengers wanting to travel to certain locations. System used prior to deregulation include the point-to-point model, wherein flights are trying to be made available between every origin destination and final destination. Airlines were forced to fly directly between even the smaller markets, even though there is no demand. So this resulted in many flights that were routinely half empty, which resulted in airlines losing money. So this was not a cost effective model, the point to point system which was followed back in the days. It was definitely a very expensive a scenario for airports and airlines, because even though if it is not having 100% occupancy, the airline would have to fly. So that would not be the intention of any airline, to run their aircraft half empty or with just a few passengers. So that will definitely not cover the cost of the fuel and also the kind of resources that is being utilized for a empty airline. So today, most airlines have at least one central airport that their flights have to go through. From that hub, and the spoke flights take the passenger to the select destination. So you reach out to the main airport, and then from there you would finally take several other connecting flights to reach to smaller destinations or cities based on the customer or passenger preferences and choices. So the hub and spoke strategy builds on the consolidation of air traffic through the hub and spoke model. So you can definitely gather a lot of passengers and consolidate them and kind of channelize them through this major hub so that they could further on go to various other destinations. A special feature of such a system is that, in principle, it could be located in areas which have no direct ground access to customers and thus completely rely on feeder flights. So the speciality of the hub and spoke system is that there are various cities which are not very well connected. And in certain remote areas where there is no direct access to the customers, they always end up relying on feeder flights. So if they are connected to the major central hub airports, then it becomes very easy for, the last mile connectivity. So let us further understand the hub and spoke system with the help of the example of Delta Airlines, which, for instance, has a hub at the Hartsfield Atlanta International Airport in Atlanta. So for this particular airline, Delta Airlines, you have Atlanta, which serves as the hub for this airline, and that is the major central airport, which also is very well connected to the various other smaller markets. So let's say a passenger is in Charleston in the northeastern part, and that particular passenger would like to travel to Memphis, which is in the completely western side. So there's probably not a lot of demand for this particular sector of Charleston and Memphis. So what does the Delta airline do in such a scenario is they would fly the passenger from Charleston to Atlanta and then allow the passenger to take up a connecting flight to Memphis. So this particular major flight, if it had to go directly from Charleston to Memphis, will probably have a half empty flight because not every passenger would want to go to Memphis. It's only few. So this particular flight will not get underutilized, and that is the reason when you can use the hub and spoke system to ensure that both the hub airport and the connecting airports are completely utilized in every possible manner. So the purpose of the hub and spoke system is to save airlines money and give passengers better routes to destination. So the larger the connectivity, the better is the scope for a certain airline or an airport, thereby serving as a marketing strategy. In the minds of the consumers, they are well aware that this particular airline is going to help us reach to every destination with the help of the hub and spoke system. Even if it's in layman's language, both the airport and the airline must be hand in glove to ensure customers' sense of satisfaction in terms of allowing them to travel to every nook and corner of the world. Airplanes are an airline's most valuable commodity, right? So every airline is a part of a very important fleet of the airline company. And every flight has certain set costs. Each seat on the plane represents a portion of the total flight cost. So that is why every airline will try their best to have 100% occupancy rates at any given point of time. For each seat that is filled by a passenger, an airline lowers its break even price, which is the seat price at which an airline stops losing money and begins to show a profit on the flight. So, the attempt here of every airliner would be to increase every seat that thus being sold. Otherwise, they will not be able to break even. At least the bare minimum what an airline should be on a given position is a no profit, no loss situation. In general, it is possible to pursue both a multi hub network strategy and a single hub strategy based on the convenience of the airline. We could have an airline focusing on just a central hub or a multiple hub based on the demand. In any case, the concentration of airlines on hub operations leads to a situation in which individual airports often are dominated by a single airline. This is definitely true in the case. If you see the very popular Dubai International Airport, you would notice that in this particular airport, a fleet of Emirates Airline have definitely overpowered the other airlines in that particular airport. That's because that is the major hub. Dubai International Airport is serving as the major hub for the Emirates Airline. As a consequence, these airlines frequently control a higher number of slots at individual airports. They definitely take the maximum slots in occupying their place in the airport. They have various time slots in a particular given day. So the first preference is given to them because it is their major hub airport. Even if we notice in the case of the famous Changi International Airport, hub and spoke, this is one of the very well connected cities, centrally located. In fact, Singapore is considered to be located centrally for the entire world, and that's why we have various airlines operating from the Changi International Airport. As you can notice, whether it is Southeast Asia or whether it is Africa, Europe, the American region, we have flights moving from Singapore. Even though it is a very small country, the connections of the Changi International Airport is really huge. Singapore serves as the hub for the famous airline, which is the Singapore Airlines, and they tried to leverage through the model of hub and spoke system. I hope this session gave the learners clarity regarding how the hub and spoke system can be used as an effective strategy for positioning in the marketing world of airlines and airports. Thank you so much.